Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Chantel Smith, and I'm the coordinator for recruitment and programming here in the Honors College at the University of Maryland. Joining me tonight for this chat are Dr. Jenny Lang, the Associate Director of Admissions and Recruitment within the Honors College, and a few of our current students. This presentation will be about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll be available to answer questions until 7 p.m. So please make sure to use the chat feature only if you're having problems hearing us. There we'll be answering questions that come in through the Q&A feature. If you see your question has already been asked in the Q&A, you can actually move it up so that we know that's a priority question to answer. So a lot of you may be wondering, what exactly is the Honors College? So the Honors College is home to 8 different living learning programs. And what a living learning program is a specialized partnership between the resident life staff and other student services staff across campus. Faculty and academic administrators link the curricular and residential experiences in ways that create opportunities for our students to have a deeper understanding and integration of classroom material. So basically, you can think of the Honors College as an enhancement to your education, nothing additional, just allowing you to have a different option of classes to take in order to fulfill some of your graduation requirements, with a co-curricular component included. Our goal is to foster learning inside and outside of the classroom and to create a supportive, close-knit community for our students. We're looking beyond academics and providing opportunities for our students to connect with faculty, each other, and the community around them. And one of the most important parts of our honors community lies within our mission of culture of inclusive excellence, which binds the pursuit of academic excellence to values of difference and diversity, and uses the power of our knowledge to promote justice, equity, and engagement within the world. With this in mind, our hope and our goal is that our students, when they graduate, that they're able to be critically self-reflective on their knowledge and experiences, ethically aware to be able to make right and moral decisions, willing to take on intellectual and creative risks, and that they're prepared to work collaboratively.
So all students who are invited to the Honors College will be in one of our 8 unique living learning programs. So each program has a different curriculum and different area of focus or approach which students will pursue to earn their honors citation. After our admission decisions are released, we'll talk about that process a little bit later, students will have the opportunity to identify which of the living learning programs they prefer through our preferencing form. Students will then find out which program they're in before they have to confirm their decision to enroll at the University of Maryland. So they'll know their specific program before they have to make a decision about where they're going to attend university. So you see our 8 programs here on the screen. The first one, Advanced Cybersecurity Experience for Students, better known as ACEs. Everyone only ever calls it ACEs. This program develops successful, forward-thinking cyber leaders who create a safer world by embracing both the technical and non-technical aspects of cybersecurity. Next is Design Cultures and Creativity, known as DCC. And students in this program explore the roles and impact of design in our societies and creative practices in ways that cut across both STEM and non-STEM disciplines. These students are theorists and thinkers who investigate the digital age through designing, analyzing, and creating. Next is Gemstone. This is a unique multidisciplinary 4-year research program for honor students of all majors who are interested in leadership, teamwork, and social impact. Students will work in teams of 8 to 12. They'll be invited to these teams at the end of their freshman year and then continuing through their senior year. They will work on a research project with the guidance of a dedicated faculty mentor. Honors Global Communities is one of our 2 newest programs. We were so thrilled to welcome our inaugural cohort this fall, so they're about a month into their program. This new curriculum is focused on using data science to analyze and consider global challenges. Students will have really unique internship opportunities through the Global Fellows Program with access to internships located in the DC area, which will also satisfy curriculum requirements for the citation. Honors Humanities is our signature program for exploring the arts and humanities in all their creative, social, and global dimensions, empowering our students to find their voices in imagining their future and in changing the world. Integrated Life Sciences offers unparalleled, accelerated, and innovative courses and research opportunities in all areas of the life sciences, as well as service learning experiences that are designed to launch the careers of outstanding students of all majors, exploring all aspects of life sciences. Interdisciplinary Business Honors, or IBH, is our second brand new program. So again, we have our first cohort of IBH students who began this fall. And this program offers students a big picture view of business in relation to multiple fields, like callings and social issues. And we challenge students to imagine the future of work and business. And once again, this program is also open to all majors. And finally, University Honors, our oldest, largest, and freshly reimagined and relaunched program. This program has an exciting new curriculum, and our students live in the brand new residence halls on campus with program space for the faculty, staff, and students in the middle of campus. And this program is not defined by a specific subject, but rather it draws on distinguished faculty from across campus to teach really fascinating courses on big questions and ideas from different disciplinary perspectives, both STEM and non-STEM. Students will pursue their curiosity wherever it leads, and they will also encounter multiple perspectives of thinking. Every one of these programs is available to students of any major. So students who are invited to honors can be in a living learning program that is related to their major so that they can really go more in depth into their chosen field of study, or they can choose a program that is completely opposite of their major. And this gives them a really good opportunity to broaden their experience during their time here at Maryland.
So what exactly are the benefits about being in the Honors College? So our students take small discussion-based courses, many of which are smaller than the regular courses that are offered to all UMD students. Our students also are typically earning their honor citation, which is listed on their transcript, within 2 years, although one of our programs, Gemstone, is a 4-year research-based program, so those students earn their honor citation at the end of their 4 years. Students are also able to connect more closely with fellow honor students and with the faculty and staff. We also offer study abroad, internship, and research opportunities both on and off campus. Our students participate fully in the life of the university, so they're not siloed away, and in most cases are members of many departments and student groups across campus. And we also offer a number of social events to encourage our students to connect both within the entire Honors College community and through their specific living learning program. To include one of our most popular events that we like to host, our ice cream socials. If you're ever at University of Maryland to visit, we definitely recommend you try the Maryland Dairy ice cream. It's delicious.
It's been so nice to get back to in-person and ice cream socials. We had a year or so of hiatus from that, and we're enjoying the ice cream again. Internships. So our location gives our students access to many internship opportunities in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. region. Our programs will often bring in experts in the field of study to meet with their students. For example, the cybersecurity program, or ACES, they have a career mentor component where experts from organizations such as the NSA will come in and talk to the students in the program about their career, how they got there, and they'll offer the students guidance on their careers as they develop. And internships are available both during the school year and over the summer, both on and off campus. And I also want to highlight with our new program, Honors Global Communities, those students will definitely have internship opportunities through the Global Fellows program, which is another program on campus, and that offers our students internships in the DC area as well.
So the University of Maryland is a Research One institution, which basically means we typically have access to more grants, more labs, more faculty, and more opportunities for our undergraduate students to get involved. And since we offer smaller class sizes within the Honors College, this gives our students more access to the faculty and therefore more opportunities to work in the faculty labs. Research opportunities are available both on and off campus, and because of our prime geographical location within the Metro DC area, students have easy access to research opportunities, including Johns Hopkins and the National Institutes of Health. Just to name a few, you can see a couple on the screen as well.
And study abroad. Many of our students are in majors that have heavy course loads. So for some students, studying abroad for an entire semester could be challenging, but there are winter, spring break, and summer study abroad programs available to our students. And we are excited we have resumed regular study abroad programs, and our students have been very eager to travel again. Students who are interested in studying abroad for a semester, many students do, we really suggest that they talk to their advisor about these possibilities as early as possible. And there is a study abroad office on campus with resources for them. They also offer study abroad fairs every semester, I believe. So that's a good opportunity for students to find out about what's available. And for some of our living learning programs, there's a study abroad option in the curriculum, or there's a way that the study abroad program a student does can also satisfy the curriculum for the living learning program. So if that's something that's interesting to you, it's a great way to pursue study abroad and for a student to complete citation requirements at the same time.
So there are hundreds of ways to get involved across campus with extracurricular activities in clubs and in organizations. Within the Honors College, we have quite a few different involvement opportunities as well. Just to name a few, we have the Honors Ambassadors, which is a volunteer organization that consists of our current students who are available to talk with our prospective students, like the student panel that's joining us tonight. These students participate in all of our on-campus and virtual recruiting events. Another one to highlight is the Banneker, the Black Honors Caucus, which aims to serve the university as a whole by providing a forum for diversity and discussion about the community's greatest concerns. And although this organization is sponsored by the Honors College, membership is actually open to all students across campus.
All right, so once students are on campus, there's a National Scholarship Office on campus that is available to our students to help connect the students with scholarships that fit their goals and skills. And the folks who National Scholarship Office, Dr. Francis Stevenage and Leslie Bryce, are eager and willing and ready to work with our Honors College students and help them find some awards that are right for them. Many of our Honors College students have been very successful in applying for and winning these competitive national and international awards. And on this slide, you'll see some of the awards that our students have won just in this past year. So you see we have Churchill Scholars, National Science Foundation Scholars, Fulbright, Goldwater, Gilman. There's really a good range of scholarships available to our students, and our Honors College students are very successful with these awards. All right, so hopefully by now you're very interested in the Honors College and you want to find out how to become a part of the Honors College. The good news is there is no separate or additional application, nothing separate or extra that a student needs to do. The best thing to do, the best way to be considered is to apply to the University of Maryland through either the Common App or the Standout Admissions Network, I think is what the system is called, by the early action deadline of November 1st. So that is the most important thing for you to take away. Complete your application on or before November 1st, and then you will be automatically reviewed for admission to the university, invitation to Honors College and other special programs, and be evaluated for academic merit scholarships. When we evaluate applications for the Honors College, we do a holistic review of the entire application. It takes a long time. We look at a lot of different factors in the application. We take into consideration the academic record, the standardized test scores, if a student has chosen to submit them, rigor of curriculum and extracurricular activities, among other factors. University of Maryland is continuing to be test optional. So students applying for fall 2023, we are test optional. You can choose whether or not to submit your scores. If you submit scores, we will consider them and they will be a part of the review process. If you choose not to submit scores, we will consider everything else in the application and we won't have scores to consider. It is fine either way. So you have to make a decision about whether you feel your test scores best represent you and your ability. If you decide that they do not, your scores do not represent your ability, apply test optional without the test scores. You'll still be fully evaluated for admission, for invitation to honors, and for academic merit scholarships. As long as you apply by November 1st, you're good. One thing to note, if on your application you say you want to submit scores, then you must submit scores by November 1st. If you say you're going to submit scores and your scores don't come in until after November 1st, then your application will be considered incomplete because November 1st is the deadline for a complete application. And if you tell us that you're submitting scores, we will expect scores to mark the application complete. So most of the students that are invited to the Honors College fall near the top of UMD's admitted class in terms of their standardized test scores, academic performance. Our students in high school earned very nearly all A's, or most of the students did earn all A's. Students have taken advantage of the most rigorous courses that are available to them at their high schools. We do review a high school report, so we're paying attention to what a particular high school has to offer for students and whether the students have taken advantage of those advanced courses. We're not considering one student at one school versus another student at another school who has had different courses available to them. So we really do look at what the student has had available to them and what they have chosen to take. And if a student is invited into the Honors College, they will be notified of that with their UMD acceptance letter, which goes out on or before February 1st. And our average class size, we're looking for students a little bit over 1,000 actually. That's the number of students that we want to enroll in the Honors College each year. For fall 2022, our students, you can see on here, the average GPA was a 4.65 of the students invited to Honors. Of the students who chose to submit test scores, you can see the middle 50% SAT was 1480 to 1560, and ACT was 34 to 35. That means for each of those, 25% of the students who chose to submit test scores scored lower than these middle 50% scores, and 25% scored higher. And of course, we don't consider test scores for students who chose not to submit them.
So the Banneker Scholarship is Maryland's most prestigious scholarship that we offer. All of our freshman applicants to the University of Maryland who meet the early action deadline of November 1st, again, that's the important date to remember, are invited to the honor, and you have to be invited to the Honors College, are automatically considered for nomination to the Banneker Scholarship. So there's no other separate application for this merit scholarship either. And for other merit scholarships offered by the University of Maryland. So again, no additional application or materials are required. This exceptional scholarship opportunity is offered only to a select group of applicants who have demonstrated significant academic leadership and accomplishment within high school, and who are, we believe, will enrich and benefit from the campus learning environment. There are two levels of funding, full and partial. The full Banneker Key provides full tuition, resident hall room, and basic resident dining plan for 4 years. The partial Banneker Key currently provides $8,000 for in-state students, $12,000 for out-of-state students annually. And both levels of the scholarship include an additional book allowance each year. So on the slide, you can also see that about 400 students are invited to interview for the Banneker Key Scholarship. And their average GPA is around 4.7. Again, that's for students who actually decided to submit. And, excuse me, the 4.7 GPA, and for the SAT, the average was about 1530. So here you can see some statistics from our Honors College students who graduated during the 2021 school year, including spring, summer, and December graduation. 68% of our graduates had a job right after graduation, which is awesome. 24% plan to attend graduate school. 3% went into volunteer opportunities like the AmeriCorps or Peace Corps, and some even went into the military after graduation.
And once our students graduate, they are very successful. So many of our students have a job before they even graduate. I was talking with a student today who had job interviews during her senior year. So she's going to have a job before she even gets to her final semester. And on the screen here, you'll see some of the types of graduate programs that our students attend. This includes med school, law school, veterinary medicine, library science, engineering, anthropology. You see the universities and programs that they attend. And then some of our career placement examples include systems developer, software developer, engineer at Amazon, financial analyst and program manager at Microsoft Corporation. And then we have a few classroom teachers in some of the local school districts as well. This is just a really small sample of the many places that our students go after they graduate.
And here are just a few of our student profiles, just so you can get just a glimpse of what our students are doing. As stated before, most of our students are involved with multiple organizations on and off campus and have interests that are not always related to their field of studies, which we actually really love to see. So just each one of these students actually gave some advice for our prospective students, which are you guys. So one said, Sab said, choose an environment that makes you feel at home. Alyssa said, make sure that you tour, getting a tour with students and members of your the school, and if it's in the honors college, your living learning program, let you know if Maryland's going to be the right school for you. And Derek said that choose an academic institution that will give you the most opportunities to succeed, not only academically and professionally, but also offering you an environment that would allow you to express yourself fully. So that is the end of our presentation. Again, we want you to remember the date of November 1st. You have to submit your application by then, the completed application by then. If you want to learn more about the Honors College, you can visit us at honors.umd.edu. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can email us at honorsadmissions@umd.edu. And feel free to follow us on our social media pages just to keep tabs on what we're doing. We have an Instagram page, a TikTok, and a Facebook. So I'm gonna unshare my screen, and I want you guys to just continue to ask questions. We'll continue to answer them probably up until about 5 minutes to 7. Again, if we missed a question that you asked, please feel free to ask it again. And if you have any further questions that don't get answered tonight, like I said before, please feel free to contact us. Okay.
Should we invite our HAs to come on screen and introduce themselves?
Go ahead. Tamara, you can go first.
Hi, my name is Tamina. I am a sophomore in the University Honors Program, and I am a double major in general biology and secondary education.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christina. I'm a senior majoring in psychology and information sciences and minoring in neuroscience and disability studies. I was in DCC, and my pronouns are she, her.
Thank you. So just looking at some of the questions, I know we answered some, but we'll just answer them again. So the first one is, what's the average SAT score for students who are accepted? Again, the 50% percentile is between 1480 and 1560, and that's for students who want to submit their test scores, so you do not have to. How many first-year students get the Banneker Key Scholarship? So we interview about 400, and I want to say like 200 and something. Jimmy, you can tell me, like 200 and...
So we typically invite around a little bit less than 400 students to interview. Not all, believe it or not everyone that we invite does come for an interview. But if you participate in the interview, you will be awarded a scholarship. Typically, we actually enroll somewhere between 120 and 150 freshman Banneker Key scholars each year.
I see, is there a free waiver code for the Common App? That would actually be a question for the Office of Undergraduate Admissions, and they can be reached at applymaryland@umd.edu. Do honors college students get considered for more scholarships? So all the students at UMD, if you apply by the November 1st deadline, are considered for merit scholarships as a first year, coming in as a first year student. As far as other scholarships, once they get on campus, they can apply for different scholarships. And like Jenny said, a lot of the honor students have been very successful with getting those scholarships after they come on campus.
So I just put the answer in the chat, but someone was asking about, I've seen a few questions about the official score report for the SAT or ACT and for AP. So I just want to clarify. If you are submitting your SAT or ACT score, if you choose to submit your SAT or ACT score, we must have the official score report from College Board. So if you are submitting your SAT or ACT score, yes, you must submit the score officially. That's the only way to be counted as received by us. You must submit it officially by the College Board. For AP exams, you don't have to submit any official AP or score report application process. So you can put your AP score results on your application. You don't have to submit an official score report. But if and hopefully when you choose to enroll at the University of Maryland, then you will need to send the official score report from AP, because then you can get the college credit. So you do have to submit the official AP score report in order to get the college credit. But that happens, you know, in the summer before your freshman year at the college.
We have several questions that are probably more tailored to me and Jenny, but I want to get our ambassadors involved. So there is a question that says, nope, it just went to the okay, so as an honors student, do you automatically get enrolled in higher level classes?
Do you want us to answer this live?
No.
Oh, okay. There was also another question in the chat that I wanted to talk about, but I'll do this one first.
Yeah.
So no, it's like whenever you're signing up for your classes, like through Testudo, whenever you're making your course schedule, there'll like be certain classes that have like whatever the class is, like English 101H, and that just means like it's like the like freshman English, but like for honor students. So they're usually smaller classes, but from my experience, they haven't been harder or anything. Like when I've talked to other students not in the honors classes, I think it's just nice to have the smaller community in those classes, and though also some familiar faces that you'll have in that class as well as your honors classes, or also living in your dorms. But I do believe the rigor is the same. And then if it's okay with you guys, I'll also answer this next question. Melanie asked can you describe the workload for honors classes, and are they more enrichment or just more work, and are you able to have a good work-life balance? I know like the word honors college might sound a little scary that wise, but you're definitely still able to have a good work-life balance. And honestly, I kind of enjoy the classes because you are able to pick your program, and even the classes within the program, they're usually stuff you're interested in if you get to pick it yourself. So I think they're kind of fun. And as far as workload, it's been nothing crazy, nothing different from any other college class. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to weigh in on that as well. I agree with everything Tawana said. And honestly, the honors college classes can be really helpful for hitting those gen eds. You don't have to go and search on the course website for what's free, what has open spots available, that is the specific gen ed that I need to graduate, because some of the honors college classes will just knock that out for you. It's really useful.
Thank you. A question says, does the honors college focus more on class rigor or the average GPA? I'm assuming you're referring to being invited. So we look at everything holistically. We're looking at your grades, not necessarily the GPA that you have, because each school kind of can do the GPA differently. But we're looking at your grades and the class rigor, just to name a couple things. What's the average class size for an honors program class?
I can speak to DCC at least. So most of the LLPs in the honors college, because they have assigned dorms that they would like all the students to live in to really get that living and learning component of their experience, they tend to cap out. At least at DCC, Design, Cultures, and Creativity, it was around 70 to 80 students. But I know that there are other programs that may be bigger, like Tawana, I think UH was decently bigger than us.
Yeah, I can add on to what Christina said. So UH University Honors is one of the bigger programs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but it's still smaller class sizes than like my like large like chem lectures or like bio lectures, where like there's like 200-300 students. So for the honors classes, if you guys are familiar with university honors, what it is, it's you take clusters, and so basically you complete 2 clusters with your time here at University of Maryland. And within those clusters, there's several courses. There's a required course for each cluster, and then an optional course, like several optional courses that you can pick from in order to fulfill that cluster. So the I-series course, or like the required course, is usually a bit larger. I'd say around like 60 to 80, or like 50 to maybe some of them have 50. But then the other classes that I'm in, for example, I'm in one of the supporting classes right now, and it's like probably like 20 or 25 students max. So they can also be small, but overall, the sizes are generally smaller than other classes you'll take.
There's another question for you, Tamina. Is there a divide between students in the Honors College and students who are not?
Not at all. Actually, I guess that kind of goes personal experience, but for my personal experience, I have friends in the Honors College, and I also have friends in other organizations. I have like my roommates who since I no longer live in the dorms, my roommates now are not university honor students. So I definitely have, or honors college students in general. So I definitely have friends in the honors college as well as out. And it's not really like, the campus is so large that at the end of the day, like, it's not like, oh, you're in this living learning program, I'm in this one, like, but it's nice to build a community, but it also is a kind of a step into the whole university, and you can make friends anywhere and connections anywhere.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, and adding on to that, I know it's like difficult because you guys haven't experienced it, but it's really like, I don't think a lot of the honors students think of the honors college as like another one of like their majors or minors. It's more like the separate thing where, of course, like you have your honors program, but you're still going out into your major, and you're still going out into your gen eds, which is just like a ton of different people all crammed into like one communications class or something like that. So there's lots of opportunities to meet people in your major and in whatever extracurriculars you decide to go to. We have lots of clubs, and like everyone can just find a niche here. So the honors college does not in any way like box you into one social group, but it is super helpful for if you're in the first weeks and you're like, I don't have anyone to eat at the diner with. You have your crew right there.
I just saw a question that is, how easy is it to double major even across departments in the honors college? And I am actually a double major across different departments and also in the honors college. So like I said, I mentioned earlier, I'm a gen bio major, which is in the CMNS college, and also a secondary science education major, which is in the College of Education. And I'm also in the university honors program. So it is definitely possible. And I wouldn't say that like if you have 2 majors, you can't be in the honors college. Like, it's definitely doable. It does. Your semesters might be a little bit more packed with like 1 extra class, or like something like that. But if the majors are across 2 different departments, but it's extremely doable. I still have a work-life balance, and also depending on how many credits you're coming in with, it might be easier. And also, a lot of the times the honors college classes, they're not really adding onto your schedule, because Christina mentioned this earlier, but a lot of them fulfill gen ed requirements. So I will essentially like be done with my gen eds after this semester, and that's because of all my honors classes. So it's not really like they're adding classes, they're kind of replacing other gen ed classes that you would have to take anyway. So it doesn't really add that much.
Thank you. There's a question that says, can you be in the honors college and another living learning program at the same time? And the example was, you're familiar with BioFire program, so yes. So there are several different living learning programs on campus, to include BioFire, Scholars, the Honors College, just to name a few. You can only be in one of them. If for whatever reason you were invited to the Honors College, but you're not interested in it, you can let us know that. Some of the programs, some of the living learning programs do have a self-nomination option that you can do. I'm not sure if BioFire does, but some of them do. So again, if you were invited to our program and want to do something else, you can definitely decline your invite and try to get into one of the other programs.
Yeah, I just want to add on to that a little bit and share that as a community, the living learning, internally we refer to ourselves as the living learning and other special programs. It's a really long title that means not much to people outside of us. But we really do work together, and we feel like the opportunities that we as a whole offer to these incoming freshman students is fantastic. And even if you are not invited to honors, if you're invited to one of the other living learning programs or the other special programs, we really strongly encourage you to check out that program because there are some great opportunities and great experiences at or within each of those programs. So even if you're not invited to honors, please check out. If you're invited to Civicus or Carillon or FIRE or College Park Scholars or honors or BioFire, those are, I think, the big ones. So if you're invited to any of those, please definitely check them out, consider them, and learn more before making any decisions. And I saw there was a question, I think, Christina, you answered it in the chat, but LLP, sorry. We use acronyms all the time. I apologize. LLP stands for Living Learning Program, which is what our honors programs are. They are all a combo of living and learning. So the community that the students build, the academic courses they take together, the extracurricular, co-curricular events that they do. That is the advantage of being in a living learning program and making connections with students and faculty. I also there's a question here about, are there any classes relating to computer science other than cybersecurity? I assume what the question means is, are there living learning programs relating to computer science? Because there are tons of computer science courses on campus. There's a computer science major. So there are lots and lots of classes. ACES, the Advanced Cybersecurity Experience for Students, is our living learning program that is specifically related to cybersecurity.
Let's see. Do university honor students have more options as to which courses they select at an honors level? I'm assuming you're talking about the clusters that Tamina mentioned. Maybe if you can give more clarification on that, Sophia. Let's see. Would university honors be best for a criminology major?
Yeah, so I saw a couple questions like this, like asking like what would be best for what major. And I like kind of think about it personally. For me, when I was picking, like when I was indicating my preferences, I didn't really think about my major that much, just because when I was in like these online chats and like hearing from students, like people like me now, but I noticed that a lot of the sorry, I can't words right now, but a lot of the programs have students from all majors. And the reason for that is because although you're taking these classes, they don't really necessarily have to align to your major, because sometimes it's actually nice to like explore different fields. And it's like kind of like a nice way to break away from some of like your major classes, and it kind of gives you a chance to do something new, explore something new, maybe find something you weren't interested in before. However, like each one obviously does have like its main idea of classes. So if that's something you're looking for, like if you're as a criminology major, if you want to do like focus more towards the humanities and like then honors humanities. If you want to go maybe like towards the business side, then there's integrated business honors, and if you're looking at it from like a global aspect, then there's honors global community. So it's really what perspective you want to take into your major, and also if you're open to exploring new classes. So I don't really want to say that there's like a best one, but for university, if you're asking if university honors will be best, I can tell you that university honors is very interdisciplinary. So you would be able to take classes from a lot of different areas and fields and study different things if that interests you.
I really want to highlight what Tamina just said. I think that was a fantastic answer, because we do get this question a lot, like, oh, if I'm in this major, which LLP should I be in? As she just said, it does not have to be related, and I really, really appreciated her answer. So I hope you all caught that.
Thank you, Sophia, for clarifying. Oh, go ahead, Christina.
I just wanted to throw one thing, because I just answered a question about it was like something about like STEM majors. My memory is of a goldfish, I'm sorry, but STEM majors and like what honors program you should choose. Building off of what Jenny and Tamina said, I mean, even if you're a STEM major, like a computer scientist who's also in honors humanities, that's interesting. Employers will be like, what is this person doing? Like, why are they? And they'll be interested. They'll give you second looks, and they really actually do appreciate that interdisciplinary approach. So I think that if you're a STEM major and you're stressed about which one of the LLPs is going to be best for your like professional development, or like complementing your bio aerospace engineering, whatever thing, you should also consider the other humanities oriented honors colleges because they'll give you a leg up on people who might only be focused on all STEM all the time, everything.
Thank you, Christine. I couldn't have said it better myself. Plus I hear that our STEM students who are in programs that are like arts, like our honors humanities program or DCC, they say that their classes are like their favorite classes because it gets them a little bit away from, you know, their major courses, which are usually heavy workloads. Okay, so Sophia, thanks for clarifying that. So she's wondering if UH offers more flexibility in course selection as opposed to the other living learning programs that are focused more around a certain theme. So about the clusters, there's basically like, and Tamara can go talk a little bit more about this, but basically there is a little bit more flexibility with university honors. They have different themes that you can choose from, which are the clusters that Tamara said. So I don't even know what they are now, but the last time I checked, I saw one that was like War and Peace, and they change every 2 years, so they're new ones now. But yes, you can choose one of those themes within university honors to take a cluster of classes for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can give an example of like the University Honors Clusters classes. So they are actually from like a huge different variety of like what you want to study. They're, as far as like the style of the classes, at least the ones I've been in, I'm pretty sure is universal, at least for the cluster classes, is that they're very like discussion based. And the point of it is to like get students talking about issues like modern day topics and like interdisciplinary things. So for example, my cluster last year that I took was identity and intersectionality, which was a really fun cluster for me, and I honestly really enjoyed it. So I guess there is a little bit of flexibility in that way if you're looking for a program that allows you to do like different things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and even if you don't have a really cool name for your things like clusters, like in UH, a lot of the other programs also will try to like swap out their course offerings year after year and keep it fresh. So for example, in DCC, when I was there, they invited some professors from different schools, so like to bring an interdisciplinary approach. And one of the professors that I met was from the information sciences school, and I had never heard of it before. I was like, what's an information science? Isn't that all science? But you know, I took the class and I'm now an information sciences double major. So it can come up to you in unexpected ways in that manner.
There's a question about the recording of this. So this, I should have said that in the beginning, this is being recorded. So it should be available on our website, so honors.umd.edu within the next few business days. All right.
Rosella, apologize if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, but I think I jumped into the middle of a conversation, but I want to clarify, Prince Frederick does now have 3 different living learning programs located in that building. It's interdisciplinary business honors, DCC, Design Cultures and Creativity, and ACES, the cybersecurity program. And actually between those 3 programs, that is now pretty much all honors students. So Prince Frederick doesn't have many non-honor students, depending on space, but it's probably pretty much all honor students. Each of our living learning programs, you know, they have a different home, and some of those buildings are limited to honor students, but for the most part, they're it's going to be mostly honor students, I think. Anne Arundel, which is where Honors Humanities is primarily honor students, but there are a few non-honor students typically in the building. Global Communities, Honors Global Communities is in Dorchester Hall. Again, I think it's primarily students in that program, but again, there may be a few non-program students in that building. Those are both smaller buildings. The newest buildings where UH is now located, Pyeongchang and Johnson Whittle, are mostly honor students. Those 2 buildings, again, UH is our biggest program. And then the other 2 programs, ILS and Gemstone, are located in La Plata and Ellicott. And those programs do not take up the entire buildings, but like I know ILS lives on floors 8 and 9 in La Plata. So the students are clustered together within the building. And I assume the same is for Gemstone, although I couldn't tell you which floors they live on. But students are going to be, even if there are non-honor students in the building, they're going to have a floor or 2 or 3, however many students there are, that are going to be that group of students. And they will have plenty of opportunities to form community with the other students in their building.
Perfect.
I saw a question about studying abroad. And so the good thing about a lot of these programs is they're only 2 years, with the exception of Gemstone. Most of them were done in about 2 to 2.5 years. So if you wanted to study abroad, like you have plenty of semesters to do that. And also, personally for me, I just applied to some winter study abroad programs, which is basically like, it's if you don't want to go for a whole semester, you can go for like that month winter break that we have. So it's like 3 weeks in January. So UMD also has education abroad short term. So you can honestly find what's best fit for you and your 4-year plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Adding
Kristen.
on to that, I am aware at least that DCC, I cannot shove about DCC, I'm sorry, but in DCC, when I was attending, they had this a requirement for graduating from the program that involved like getting out into the world and getting some experience there. So there were like 3 ways to fulfill the requirement, I believe. One of them was taking an honors level class, which was really nice. I did that. The other one was getting an internship. And the last one was taking a semester abroad, or like Tawana said, like maybe a winter or a summer session abroad. So in that way, the honors college can really like push you towards those opportunities that you might have been too lazy to consider if you hadn't been like, oh, I need this, I want to graduate. So that can be really useful.
Awesome. I actually know a couple students who were in Gemstone, the 4-year program, and just came back from a spring study abroad. So it's definitely doable, like they said, to fit into your schedule. You just have to plan ahead and go to the study abroad office early on.
And I wanted to clarify, when I said during the presentation that studying abroad can sometimes be challenging for students, it's not about their honors commitments. It depends on their major, because a lot of our students do pursue really challenging STEM majors and often double majors, or, double degrees or double majors with a minor. I certainly know some triple majors. They have a large number of classes that they have to get in order to complete the majors and the degrees that they are pursuing. It is not limited by the honors college and the coursework that students take in honors. And so it's more about the student's major. I know that some majors are very specific. You have to take certain courses at a certain time. And if those courses are not available through a study abroad program, then it would put a student behind in their graduation. Many major students can fit it in no problem, right? It's very possible, but it really depends on your major, the credits that you come in with, what else you want to accomplish while you're at the University of Maryland, which is why those winter, spring break, summer study abroad options are available so that all students can pursue the opportunities. And the other reason is that I recommend that you really start planning early. If you're really interested in study abroad, freshman year, first semester, go visit the study abroad office, start figuring out what will and won't work, and start talking with your advisor about it. Jeffrey, you asked a question about, do we have to send all test scores for SAT, or are we allowed to choose scores to send? I think usually with the College Board, the testing board, you submit your scores. You don't choose which ones to send, but it's okay because we're going to take the highest score. We super score. So if you did better, you took the test multiple times and one day you did better in math and the other day you did way better on is it verbal is the other portion now? So we will take the highest score from any number of exams that you take, and we ignore the rest of the scores. So I do think you can either send your test scores or not, and it includes everything, but we will look at the highest scores for each section.
That answers that other question too. Okay, so which year's transcript do you want to be sent for early action? And do you also require your quarterly grades for 12th grade? So by the time you're applying for school, you should have your 9th, 10th, and 11th grade grades there. So it'll be that transcript. So all of those grades. There's some transcripts that also show like some middle school, but that's not required. And then yes, you do have to submit your semi-quarterly grades, but that is after our review. So typically what we see is just the 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. Do honors college living learning programs correspond to respective majors? For example, with the ILS, which is the Integrated Life Sciences program, and its course requirements correspond with the bioengineering major. Some of the programs have classes that would satisfy courses within certain majors. ILS is one of them. I don't know exactly which majors it satisfies, but I do know that they have some classes that satisfy, I think, biology major and stuff of that nature. So yes, some do, not all do. Not all of the courses correspond with a specific major. Like Tamina and Christine already said, most of the courses are can be counted as general education courses. So you can expect that. Yay, we finished all our questions. We have about 1 to 2 minutes left if you have any further questions you want to ask us. And again, if you can't think right now, you know, feel free to email us at honors admissions, that's all together, honorsadmissions@umd.edu. Oh, thank you, Jenny. So if an SAT score is average for general admission to UMD, but below average for the honors college, should we submit the SAT score? So Jenny said that said it better earlier, but basically it is up to you. If you feel like it does not represent you, we already told you what our average is, or our average scores that we typically see. If you don't feel like your score represents who you are, if you want to be looked at for the honors college, then you would make the decision if you probably don't want to submit those scores. But it's totally up to you. Yeah, it's totally up to you if you want to submit them or not.
What we will say, because it is your choice, we cannot tell you whether or not to submit your scores.
Yeah.
What we will say is if you include your scores, we will consider them. If you choose to apply test optional, that is fine too. You will still be evaluated for admission, for honors and other special programs and merit scholarships. So it is totally up to you whether or not you want to submit your scores. If our last SAT score is higher than a more recent one we took. No, we will consider the highest score. So you will submit your scores to us and we super score and we only look at the highest score. We don't pay attention to anything beyond that. So even if one time you got a lower score, one time you got a higher score, that's fine. We're only going to look at the higher score.
If I'm a dual enrollment student, is both my Montgomery College and high school transcript considered? Yes. We look at all.
I don't know if during the application review process, I'm not sure if we receive your Montgomery College transcript, because I do not recall seeing a bunch of Montgomery College transcripts, and we have lots of students who participate in dual enrollment at their high school and whatever their local community college is. So those grades are on your high school transcript. As long as the grades are on your high school transcript, the official transcript that you submit, then we do consider those. Those are definitely a part of your academic record.
All right. Any last question? Okay, so I think we're good for the night. So again, we can't stress enough the November 1st deadline. Please, please, please apply by November 1st with a completed application so that you can be not only considered for the Honors College, but any other living learning programs on campus in addition to merit scholarships. So you really, really want to apply by that deadline. Thank you guys so much for attending with us. Hopefully you were able to learn something new. If you have any questions, again, feel free to contact us.